Okay, they were doing a Pokemon type tier list, so I'm just gonna be ranking every single type there is in Pokemon. Disclaimer, this is just gonna be purely off of my opinion. So you have your first type, bug types, and honestly not really a fan of bug types. A lot of bug types there have a very early evolution, makes them really weak in the late game and not very competitively useful. There are some really ugly bugs. There are some very cool looking bugs like Vikavolt, Scizor, but they have some very common weaknesses in like flying and fire, so they're kind of weak. Um, some of them are also really ugly, so I'm gonna put them in D. Then you have electric. Electric only really have one weakness. Um, Being ground. And electric types, to me, I think they're just a pretty boring design. They are very fast. I think they're like the fastest type, um, and very high special attack. But to me, they just kind of look kind of boring. There are some cool electric types like Electivire and Luxray, but they're kind of boring. And I feel like their attacking moves, they have a very small attacking move pool, but they do have the usefulness. So I'm gonna put them in B. Then you have the fire types. Um, Fire is like the base type. I don't. They're pretty neutral on my part. Some really cool looking Charizard. They aren't soup. They don't have a ton of. They don't have great or bad. They don't have good or bad defense. Pretty average. So I'm gonna put them in B. Then you have grass types. I really like how grass types look. There are some really strong mons. There are some really cute Pokemons that are grass types, and they do have a lot of variety of moves, but they have so many weaknesses. They have what? Flying, poison, fire, ice. So many weaknesses that I gotta put them in C. Even though I do like their Pokemon, they have too many weaknesses. Then you have normal. Normal is normal. They have the most variety. They have a decently good move pool. Their Pokemon are all over the place. They're a B tier. Then you have the rock types. Not much to say rock type. They do have very strong defense, but most rock types they have a lot of weaknesses in ground and fighting, which are offensive powerhouses. They aren't particularly they aren't particularly like cool to look at, so I'm gonna put them in C tier. Then you have dark type. Dark type Pokemon often look really cool. Um, Offensively don't provide that much, but they have a okay defense. They're only weak to what? Fairy, fighting. So I'm gonna put them in A. Then you have fairy types. Fairies is one of the newest types. I really don't like how their Pokemons look. They're often like they're just not cool. They're just pretty, I guess. And they're not really strong offensively. Other than fairies, they don't have a wide move pool. They aren't overly strong offensively or defensively, so I'm gonna put them in C. Then you have flying types. I like flying types. Their birds are often really cool, and a lot of Pokemons are half flying types. They're fast. They have usually a high attack. They have a decent move pool, not great or anything. Um, so I'm gonna put them in A tier. Then you have the ground type. Ground types are great offensively and not bad defensively. Their Pokemon, like I said, they aren't overly cool to look at, but they have a great move pool. Earthquake is one of the most used moves. I'm gonna put them in A tier. I won't put them in S tier because their Pokemon, like I said, they don't look very good. They don't look cool. But they're very good offensively and not bad defensively, so I'm putting A. Then you have Poison. Poison is I don't know. I don't want to think. I don't know really what to think of them. Offensively, they're pretty bad. Defensively, they're okay, but they don't have a wide variety of moves, especially on the physical side. And their Pokemon are often bleeding poison for whatever reason, so I'm putting in D. Then you have Steel type. Steel types offensively is okay-ish. The move pool isn't strong or anything, but defense they resist like half the types. And their Pokemon look really cool. You have Steelix, Duraludon, a lot of cool looking Pokemon that are Steel types. I'm gonna put them in S. I really like them. You have Dragon. Dragon have the coolest Pokemon designs ever. Like all the pseudo legends are dragons, and they look cool. They aren't super strong offensively. Um, they're only super effective against dragon types, but they're pretty good defensively, so I'll put them in S. Then you have fighting. Fighting, another type that is really strong offensively. They're super effective against a ton of different typings. And Pokemon wise, they don't have a ton of super cool looking Pokemon. A lot of very cool ones, a lot of weird ones as well. But they're not bad defensively. They're great offensively, so I'm putting them in A. Then you have ghost types. I really like ghost types. They have the most creative ideas. In my eyes, they're very fast. They're like to me, a better electric type with a better move pool. So I'm gonna put them in S, and they have like some really cool Pokemon, Gengar, Dragapult. I'm gonna put them in S. Then you have ice type. Similar to grass, they just have way too many weaknesses, and I hate how all ice types are white. Like that's so annoying to me. And they're also offensively they're pretty good, but defensively they're so bad. They have so many weaknesses, so I'm put them in D tier. Then you have psychics. Not really a fan of psychic. I think they're too one-dimensional. Like there's barely any physical psychic type Pokemon. They aren't overly cool or anything. They're really cool in the anime. I'll give them that. They look really cool in the anime, but in games not super cool. Not super cool looking. Don't have a great move pool, so I'm gonna put them in C. Not good offensively on the special side. Not very good defensively, so I'm getting the C. Then you have the other very base type water. Only have two weaknesses. Um, Only have two weaknesses. Offensively is not that strong, but defensively is very strong. The Pokemon are average, so I'm gonna put them in B. So there you have my Pokemon type tier list.